Well, here's all you need to know about the NRA, Ben. In 2015, a year that saw over 357 mass shootings.
That's less than one a day.
Less than one a day. The NRA spent $6.7 million lobbying. The NRA spent over $1 million in declared campaign contributions and $28 million into super PACs and political action groups. Because of the lobbying from the NRA, there is a ban. Listen to this. There is a ban. I'm going to sound like Bill Cosby. Now listen carefully. I'm going to tell you where the road is out. Because of the lobbying of the NRA, there is a ban on publicly funded scientists and researchers studying the cause of violence. They are banned from studying the cause of gun violence because of the lobbying of the NRA. And SE Cupp says it's
They're fighting for gun safety, and they're fighting for common sense.
They want the regulation.
Yeah,
it's
the
goddamn president who's not serious about it.
Yeah, it's hard to figure, and it just, but it's wrong to blame the NRA. The NRA, they're advocating for gun manufacturers more even than gun owners. That's their clientele.
Yes,
that's who funds them.
Yes.
So the problem here, as it always is, the problem is gutlessness on the part of an overwhelming majority of Republicans and some Democrats, Joe Manchin, among others, who won't stand up to it. I mean, you just read they spend a lot of money. A lot of people spend a lot of money, right? And that threat that Robert brought up of primarying them out, well, okay, let's see what happens. 20 first graders got their jaws shut off, right? I'll tell you what, I'm going to fight for a background check. And you want to primary me on that? Go ahead, have at it, because I stand for every other conservative principle you can bring up, but I want to make sure kids are safe at school. So go ahead, primary me on that. But none of them were too gutless to stand up to the NRA in any capacity.
And let me say that the numbers that you just quoted in terms of money are deceptive, because they actually are not. They're not that impressive in terms of the amount of money spent. The thing that the NRA is bringing to the table is the most consistent voter base of all time. I mean, by any stretch of the imagination, these people show up to vote and to vote for guns whenever possible. So the primary threat is very, very real.
I don't know. Well, I get it. It's real. We haven't seen it a lot. I mean, it would. Again, it takes sort of political back. Again, 90% of the country wants it, so I find it hard to believe that they could exercise that kind of power. It
happened in Colorado, Ben. It did happen in Colorado recently, right? So where they won the election and they they passed some gun legislation. They immediately, I think they even recalled one of them.
Sure.
So they went. But that's Colorado. It's a little different. But your point is,
Ben's right though, because Australia had the same problem, and you know what the Australian representatives did? They voted for the assault weapons ban. A lot of them got run out of office, and they went, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
this is my job.
Yeah, you have to not care at some point, right?
There's the great story. It takes 12 to tell it as quickly as possible. But when the Voting Rights Act's trying to get passed, and Lyndon Johnson calls, I've told the story on some Turk shows before, but he calls this representative from Louisiana, and the guy wakes the guy up. Johnson was always up late at night. Call comes in. All those Johnson calls are recorded. So it comes in at my memory has it, it's like 2 in the morning. The guy wakes up, and it's coming up before Election Day. And he says, Billy, one of my greatest regrets in life in 1957 or whenever it was in the Senate that I voted against the Civil Rights Act. This is not the Voting Rights Act. I think it's the Civil Rights Act. Voting against the Civil Rights Act, it was a grave mistake that we made, and I want to, and I think we need to correct it. And the guy says, look, I hear you. I agree. If I vote for the Civil Rights Act, I'm going to lose. Yeah. And he's like, well, I hear you. But so he says, so try and get it passed without me, because I'd like to be able to vote against it, continue, even though I'm with you. So then the call comes later at like 2 in the morning, and he wakes him up, and he's like, yeah, listen, Billy, I don't know how to tell you this, but your president needs you. Yeah. And the guy says, and he said that, and I thought, all right, he needs me. And I voted against it. I voted for it, and I lost. Mm-hmm. But I was on the right side of history, and I'm glad I did it.
Yeah,
so, you can do it. Some things are worth losing for. 20 first graders, again, not to be flippant about it, but their jaws were shot off. That's okay. It's okay to lose your job to take that stand.
I agree with you. So, the thing about what SE Cupp said there is she says that because of she's saying that the NRA is interested in gun regulation. She said, quote, if the president was really interested in passing gun legislation, he would work with the NRA. Let me just tell you, I mentioned it earlier, the NRA membership wants gun regulations, which means the NRA doesn't even listen to the NRA, okay? The NRA doesn't even listen to their own people. So SE Cupp's trying to make it out like we're not listening to the NRA. The NRA doesn't even listen to their own goddamn members.
She's also being disingenuous because she knows a lot of the things that she's talking about, the regulations she's talking about that the NRA has proposed over the years. They proposed knowing that they wouldn't happen. They proposed in lieu of other things.
That's right.
So they would say, like, well, we want universal instantaneous background checks, knowing that the technology didn't exist.
Doesn't exist for that, right?
Okay, but they were saying it in lieu of. They just wanted to get the waiting period out of there.
Yes.
So the things that she's quoting are themselves lies.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. The sad truth about this is that Obama's recent proposal on guns is actually a capitulation to the NRA because the NRA insists that we do not need any new gun laws and the problem is mental health and not the sale of guns. That's what the NRA says. And guess what? The President Obama kind of agrees because his gun proposal merely enforces the laws already on the books and enlarges the FBI, CIA intelligence sector. What Obama introduced that's new is the private mental health records are to be made available to background checks, okay? So guess what we got? You give up your Fourth Amendment rights to privacy so a bunch of gun hobbyists can keep their Second Amendment rights. That's what just happened. That's what just happened, right? So now we have to give up our Fourth Amendment rights to privacy. So thankfully, we have SE Cupp around to spread much-needed hysterical confusion on this issue. Because otherwise, we might get a clear thought about it.
I don't think she accrued many friends as a result of us lambasting her.
I hope so. I hope we heard her socially.
By the way, so there's a new law in California, thankfully, where now you can get a 21-day hold, confiscation of guns if you suspect somebody is mentally ill. And it used to be, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but it used to be that was a general thing, that you could just go to your local sheriff or your local police officer and say, like, I need to take out a restraining order against this guy. He's kind of nuts. Can you also take away his guns? And the sheriff would just do it. It wasn't even a question, because it used to be in this country that the laws went this way, that law enforcement may issue gun licenses, may issue gun permits. And what the NRA has done over the last 15 years or so is change that may to must.
Right.
And so now we're just trying to correct things back to the halcyon days of 1989.
The halcyon days.